Why are these things so underrated? Hi guys, Eric here and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be having a look at this 2017 Ford Tourneo Connect 1 litre EcoBoost Ambiente. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. If versatility and practicality is something you really need, this might be the perfect car for you. Would you like to be mentioned in my next video? All you have to do is to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and tell me what car this wheel design belongs to using the comment section below. Be sure to identify both the make and model. Let's see who knows most about cars. A really big thank you to the accommodating, thoughtful and helpful staff here at ASJ Motors. They have a huge selection of quality used cars located in 2 locations in the Overberg region. One is in the industrial area of Hermanus, the other is located on the main road of Verliesdorf. They are open for business, so be sure to check out their catalogue, link in the description box below. The Tourneo Connect is a compact passenger van made by the European arm of American manufacturer Ford. The first generation was released all the way back in 2002. It was made available in short and long wheel bases, along with 5 or 7 seat configurations and rear sliding doors. Much like the commercial van, the Transit Connect, it had twin cargo doors as opposed to a liftgate. Sadly, it was not made available for South Africa. The second generation was though, and as you will soon see, that is a very good thing. This model is powered by Ford's excellent 1 litre 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine, which produces 74 kilowatt and 170 newton meters of torque. Acceleration is quite ponderous with a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time of 14 seconds, but it returns a very respectable 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers. When it comes to its looks, I think the Tourneo looks great, especially in trend form. There is no denying its van roots, but there is an affluence to it, definitely helped by the large panes of tinted glass and blacked out pillars. The front end uses Ford's kinetic design. The big twin grille is quite similar to that of the 3rd generation Focus, and the aggressive bumper gives it a sporty look. The very big swept-back headlight is also a testament to car design of the time. In profile, it looks like a van, very upright with few design contours. The alloy wheels, along with the aforementioned blacked-out pillars, do give the Tourneo an upmarket look though. The rear is quite similar to the bigger Tourneo Custom. A big rear windscreen and vertical light clusters give it a purposeful and rather aggressive look. For a van at least, I think Ford did a good job with the exterior. What about the interior though? Step inside the Tourneo Connect and you're greeted with a rather somber but surprisingly airy cabin. The windshield and the windows are absolutely humongous, and the dashboard is quite long. You can immediately tell that this is a Ford product though. The interior design is very similar to that of the Ford Focus. This means vertical air vents, tons of buttons which ergonomics might need some work, and loads of creases, cuts and angles. Build quality is very good, everything feels solidly put together. Fit and finish is decent too. The panel gaps might not be the smallest, but it is definitely acceptable. Use of materials is about par for the course. That doesn't mean it's great though. There are no soft touch plastics found anywhere in the cabin, which is quite sad, but it is expected. The color scheme is quite dark and monocolor, but because of the massive greenhouse, it doesn't feel nearly as depressing as you might think. That being said, I'm not entirely convinced by this grey plastic that surrounds the center control stack. It clashes a bit with the black that is found around the rest of the cabin. Let's take a closer look though, starting with the door panel. Well, to start off with, it is huge. It also has a very nice design to it. I love this design kink found on the top of the panel. The door pockets are deep and of a good size, and the switchgear feels very premium. The door handle is made out of unpainted black plastic though, and the door's armrest is textured and unpadded, which will definitely result in some sensitive elbows over longer journeys. The doors do carry a massive amount of weight to them though, and they close with a very German-esque thud. The steering wheel is identical to the one you will find in the Ford Focus. It is a 4-spoke design, which is quite rare lately, and it has nice brushed aluminium effect trim along with premium feeling buttons. That being said, like the Focus, the cruise control cluster looks like a bit of an afterthought. The column is adjustable for rake and reach though, which really aids finding a comfortable driving position. The stalks feel really premium, which is great, but they might take some getting used to for new owners. Turning to the dials, they are both sporty and engaging. Big white digits on a black background accompanied by beautiful blue needles make them extremely easy to read. You get an analog fuel and water temperature gauge too. In the top center of the cluster, you will find a blue backlit LCD drives information display. It communicates a comprehensive trip computer along with vehicle settings and outside temperature. This system is controlled using the left-hand cluster of buttons on the steering wheel. It looks great, if a little bit dated by today's standards. Now for the infotainment system, it is quite confusing at first glance. The monocolor screen is quite small and it isn't a touchscreen either. Instead, you have this myriad of shortcut buttons. The ergonomics isn't great, but you will get used to it as you own it. It comes very well equipped too. USB input, auxiliary port, Bluetooth audio and a CD player all come as standard, and the sound system is surprisingly punchy. When the infotainment system is a bit confusing, the climate controls are simplicity itself. You have 3 dials, one for fan speed, one for temperature and one for air placement. The dials feel great to the touch and they couldn't be simpler to understand. It's quite impressive. The seats follow suit. They are a bit on the firm side, but they provide good lower back support and side bolstering, the latter of which is quite surprising for a van. The design is rather plain, but it is to be expected considering the segment in which the Tourneo Connect finds itself. The driver's seat is adjustable for height too, which again really helps finding a comfortable driving position. With the design out of the way, let's discuss practicality, starting with the Tourneo's storage solutions. It's excellent. The undampened glove box is of a very good size. You get 2 wide and deep front cup holders, a big space behind the handbrake, decently sized door pockets, and a colossal space found above the sun visors. 2 things that I would have loved is a sunglasses holder and a center armrest, but if you can forgive it for that, you won't want for much space in here. Get in the back and things are equally as impressive. Headroom is in abundance, fit room is very good, and there's more than enough knee room too. The rear bench is raised slightly, the window line is very low, and the windows are massive, which means that children get a great view out. Storage-wise, you get relatively small rear door pockets that can double as cup holders, a single pocket behind the driver's seat, and an overhead glove box, which is perfect for auxiliary items. The only tricky thing is smaller children will not be able to reach it. Wait, that's actually a great thing. One thing that is missing is a center armrest, but Ford traded that in for 3 full seats, which more than makes up for it. To sweeten the pot even more, the rear doors slide open, which means no more accidentally knocking the car next to you in crowded parking bays. It's very, very well thought out. Turning to the boot, it is huge, absolutely huge, much bigger than similarly priced hatchbacks and sedans. It gets better though, you get a 12-volt socket, 4 grocery hooks and 4 tethering hooks. The rear bench can fold down and completely away to make room for a massive loading bay, and the front passenger seat can fold down too to make room for longer items. The load lip is non-existent and the loading floor is very low, which makes loading and unloading heavy items an absolute breeze. This car is practical AF. Starting with driving around town, the Tourneo feels right at home. Sure, it's a bit bigger than most hatchbacks out there, but the controls are light and easy to use, and all-round visibility is excellent. The clutch action feels smooth, and there is just about enough power from the engine to do some lane weaving during rush hour traffic. The suspension is a little firm, but there's a solidity that comes from the Tourneo that I was not expecting from a van. When it comes to parking, you have the benefits of front and rear park distance control, but you lose out on a reversing camera. The turning circle isn't the tightest either, so it might not be quite as maneuverable as you would expect. Still, considering the amount of space this car has, I am impressed with its maneuverability. Out on the twisties, and the Tourneo kind of impresses me. I wouldn't exactly call it fun, but the steering, while light, is direct, and body roll is very well kept in check for a van. It will definitely get you around corners safely, but it's no Fiesta or Ford Focus. Out on the open road, and tiny cracks are starting to show. First of all, the suspension feels a little unsettled over rougher surfaces. Also, because of the vast amount of space in here, road noise and tire roar is almost amplified. It's not the quietest from where I'm sitting. Lastly, the engine doesn't have quite enough poke to overtake swiftly either. The seats are really comfortable though, and the sound system does an excellent job of drowning out any unwanted noise. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad either. When it comes to reliability, the Tourneo Connect seems to be doing very well indeed. One thing to look out for is the CV joint rubber boot covers. They deteriorate prematurely. If they let water in, the CV joints will wear very quickly. There has also been reports of the windshield cracking by itself and the aircon degassing sooner than expected. Other than that, it seems like a durable small MPV. Just make sure that you find one that has been well taken care of. A full service history is a great indication of that. If you are looking for something similar, you have quite the selection to choose from. The most obvious one will have to be the VW Caddy. It has a bigger range of engines and body styles, but it isn't as fun to drive as the Tourneo. Then there is the Nissan NV200. It is much cheaper than the Tourneo, but not as sophisticated nor as well built. The Fiat Doblo is another good option if you are willing to risk bad resale value. Test drive all of them to make sure you find one that is perfect for you. So it isn't the best long-distance cruiser out there. I still think that the Tourneo Connect represents excellent value, great versatility, and enough practicality to make it a great family car. Well done, Ford. Seriously. Thank you so much for watching another one of my reviews. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It makes the world of difference to my channel. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe and you will get notifications of upcoming reviews. I have loads more lined up for you guys, so stay tuned. If you own a Tourneo Connect and you would like to share your experiences, please use the comment section below. I would love to hear your story. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Until next time. Bye.